Hey, my name is Cassie Cook, and this is my lesson on animal adaptations. Just a little side note, I apologize for the glare. I cannot fix it. I've tried. But I can upload this for you to look at that way. It may make more sense. Also, the pen will not let me write on here, so I'm gonna have to write it over here. Once again, I have tried for the last 30 minutes. Can't fix it. Let's see, that's plenty big enough. Okay. All right, everybody, if you guys will get your books that I just passed out for you, and go ahead and put your name right on the front. Okay. Let's jump into it. So we're gonna start talking about animal needs. So all animals need different things to, what do we think? To live, to eat, okay. So for this blank, you're gonna fill in the word survive. I'm gonna write it up here for you. Okay, so survive. And these are 4 things all animals need. Okay, so somebody raise your hand and I want you to tell me a few things that animals need. Okay, so we have food. That is one of them. Good. Okay, let's see. Ooh, a home. I like that one. So that is right. We're going to call it something different. And in this case, it's going to be called shelter, which is kind of like their home. Okay. Water. And our last one. So we have food, shelter, water. Let's think, they have to breathe. So what do they need to breathe? Air, good. They need air. All right. Okay, so now that everybody has that, let's move on. And we're going to talk about adaptations. So an adaptation is anything that helps an animal survive in its... Okay, I'm going to give you guys just a second to think. Somebody want to raise their hand? In their home, I like that one. No other guesses? All right, so this one is going to be habitat. Okay. Now there are 2 kinds of adaptations. So we said an adaptation is anything that helps an animal survive in its habitat. So we have 2 blanks here. This one, it says a way an animal acts or behaves to survive, and that is going to be behavioral. Behavioral, yeah, that's it. Okay. And our next one, it says the body parts or structures that help an animal survive. So this one is going to be structural. Okay, I'll give you guys just a second to get that written down. Make that bigger. Oh, there we go. All right, so our next slide. This one says draw a picture of a place animals can live. So I'll give you guys just a second to draw. Okay, and obviously I would give them longer than the 2 seconds I'm about to give them through this video. Okay, so planet Earth is home to many habitats. A habitat is the natural home or environment a plant or animal lives in. So in this case, we're talking about animals. So this is the place or an animal's home, the place where they live. So this says an animal must blank to its habitat to survive. Does anybody have a guess? Given what we just talked about on the last slide or your last page. Good, we were talking about adaptation. So in this case, it's an animal must adapt. Okay, and I'll give you guys just a second to write that. Oops. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to talk about a special adaptation. This one is camouflage. Camouflage is when an animal's body, coloration, or appearance helps it to blank in its environment. So when you think of camouflage, what do you think of? What is it supposed to help you do? Stay hidden, hide. So we're going to write blend in. They want to blend in. Who can think of an animal that blends in? Anybody? Chameleon, there we go. There's one. So we have a chameleon and some moths. Depending on where they're at, they are camouflaged, they are hidden. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys just a second to draw that and then we're gonna move on. Okay, now we're gonna talk about hibernation. And I know some of you have heard of that. We just talked about it before we got started. During winter, some animals hibernate or fall into a deep sleep. These animals curl up in a blank until winter ends. So this one I will give to you. This one is safe place. They curl up in a safe place. Like for instance, you hear bears sleep in caves. That would be a safe place. Okay, and now I want you to draw I want you to draw a picture of an animal hibernating for winter. I'll give you guys just a second. Okay, so I have our next slide up, and we're going to be talking about migration. And I have some photos on here of animals that migrate. So we have bats, and those are only certain species of bats. Not all bats migrate. Some bats hibernate. Certain kinds of turtles migrate, birds, even butterflies and zebras. I didn't know zebras migrate until I was putting this together. So animals who migrate move to a new place during different seasons in search of... Anybody have any guesses? Think about birds who fly south for the winter because it gets cold up north. What are they looking for? Food, perfect. So the first one's going to be food. And if they just flew away from their home, they're probably going to be looking for a new one, right? So what do we think another word for that would be? Shelter, good. give you guys just a second to get that written. Okay, so now that we've talked about all these things, this is an example of what we're getting ready to do. So over the next day or so, you guys are going to be researching your own animal. You can choose from ocean animals, Arctic animals, desert animals. Oops. Oh my goodness. Rainforest animals or grassland animals. And you guys are going to be researching these animals and their adaptations. So what did they need to do to survive? So in just a second, I'm going to let you guys get your computers, and you guys are going to see if you can find some online books.